Did you know the average American eats 17 times a day, including snacks? That's not just meals, but every little bite, every handful of chips, every just one cookie moment. It adds up fast, way faster than most of us realize. That blew my mind when I first found out. I always thought I was just a normal eater, but when I started counting, I realized I was constantly grazing. I used to be one of those people who was always reaching for a snack, especially when I was bored or stressed. It was almost automatic, like my hands had a mind of their own. Sometimes I'd find myself halfway through a bag of chips before I even realized I'd opened it. But one day, I hit a wall. My willpower felt shot. I couldn't say no to junk food, late-night snacks, or even the extra donut at work. It was like my cravings were running the show, and I was just along for the ride. I needed a change, and that's when I stumbled into the world of intermittent fasting. I started reading stories about people who had transformed their relationship with food, not by dieting, but by simply changing when they ate. At first, I was skeptical. Skip breakfast? Only eat during an 8-hour window sounded impossible. Breakfast was my favorite meal. And what about all those years I'd heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? But I decided to give it a shot. Just 2 weeks. I figured, what's the worst that could happen? If it didn't work, I could always go back. The first few days were rough, not gonna lie. My body was used to eating all the time, and suddenly I was telling it no. I felt tired, cranky, and honestly, a little defeated. My stomach growled. My mind screamed for coffee and bagels. I'd walk past the kitchen and feel like the snacks were calling my name. But something unexpected happened. Every time I pushed through a craving, it felt like a tiny victory. It was like I was proving to myself in small ways that I was stronger than my impulses. It was like lifting weights, but for my brain. Each time I resisted, I felt my mental muscles getting a little bit stronger. It was a workout, but for my self-control. I started to realize willpower isn't something you're born with. It's something you can build, one decision at a time. Every no to a craving was like adding a brick to a wall of self-discipline. By week 2, I felt sharper, more in control. Even my mood was steadier. I wasn't just surviving the day. I was actually enjoying it. My energy was more stable, and I didn't have those wild swings between sugar highs and crashes. The hunger was still there sometimes, but now I knew I could handle it. I learned that hunger comes in waves, and if I waited it out, it would pass. I started drinking more water, going for walks, and finding other ways to distract myself. And that confidence spilled into other parts of my life. Work, relationships, even how I handled stress. I felt more patient, more focused, and less reactive when things didn't go my way. Fasting taught me that I don't have to act on every urge. I realized that just because I wanted something didn't mean I had to have it right away. I learned to pause, breathe, and decide if I really needed that snack or if I was just bored. That moment of reflection made all the difference. And let me tell you, that skill, being able to hit pause on impulse, changed everything for me. It's like having a superpower in a world full of temptations. Now, I still enjoy food. I just enjoy it more, because I'm not eating out of habit. Meals feel special again, and I actually taste and appreciate what I'm eating. Intermittent fasting gave me back my willpower, and honestly, it was the breakthrough I never knew I needed. It wasn't just about losing weight, it was about gaining control over my choices. If you've ever felt like you're not in control of your cravings, or you want to test your willpower, fasting might be the experiment that changes your life too. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You might just surprise yourself with how strong you really are. So, if you found this helpful, hit subscribe and let's keep learning together. Remember, building willpower is a journey, and you don't have to do it alone.